My name is Kim Witmer, and I have the honor of thanking our director from 1980 to 1981, Mr. Phil MacArthur. In 1980, we started a historic year with a trip to Florida for March break to give us a head start on our field show, something that was pretty unheard of for a Canadian Corps back then. We performed and spent a day at Disney World, and of course a day at the beach, which inevitably led to the infamous skin bag of Bus 3. It was definitely taking shape to be an epic year, and epic it was. Phil led us to our first world championship, actually double championship. I still remember our electrifying performance that night. We were cheated out of winning in 1979, and we had worked hard to ensure that 1980 would be different. The nerve-wracking retreat seemed to last forever until finally we became the only corps in history to win the all-girl and A-class world titles in the same year. And what a party we had. It lasted all night and well into the early morning. The next night we had to try and find our uniforms because they were everywhere. But we performed an exhibition at the open class finals. Oscar award-winning actress Rita Moreno was one of the original West Side Story cast members and also one of the television commentators that evening for finals. And she gushed with excitement over our rendition of Mambo from West Side Story, our rainbow ponchos, our car lot flags, and of course the fact that we were all girls. Then in 1981, when I was just 15 years old, my parents trusted this man, Phil MacArthur, enough to put me on a bus with him as our fearless leader as we embarked on a 30-day tour to California. Again, something that was kind of a first for a Canadian Corps at the time. Now, the trip was not without its challenges, which Phil alluded to. 1981 was a rebuilding year for the Corps. Many of our members had aged out and finished their marching years on the high from 1980. So we weren't quite the powerhouse that we used to be. And of course, our buses broke down. I remember one day we had to make it to a show, and we actually started to push one bus with another bus to try and get there on time. We made it on time, but it was not easy. And then, of course, there was the campaign that was launched to bring the Ventures home. But what you adults, or the adults, we didn't want to come home. Like, we were in California, baby. We visited San Jose, Monterey, San Francisco, LA. We performed at Disneyland, spent a day at the iconic Circus in Las Vegas, all thanks to Phil and his vision. Personally, I have to thank Phil for being able to march as long as I did with the Ventures. My cousin and I, don't worry, Shelley, I won't mention your name. We got into a little trouble in 1980 in Frankenmuth, Michigan. May have been some drinking involved, and I know that sounds crazy for anyone who knows me. But we were getting very close to getting kicked out of the Corps. But Phil handled the situation with gracie and respect. And after a punishment of having to tell our parents what we had done, we lived to march another day. It's true that the Ventures had, and still have, I believe, an attitude. Members of other corps even referred to us as snooty. Imagine. But you have to admit, when we pulled into a show in our Mercedes buses and our transport, oh yeah, and we disembarked in those multicolored ponchos and our white hats, we were a sight to behold. We turned heads and we made a statement. And that is part and parcel of the leadership we had, like Phil. He made us feel and look special. We were lucky to be part of a very well-funded and managed team. And as referenced in a 2021 Drum Corps World article that highlighted both Phil and the Ventures, Phil credited his time managing the Corps with helping him launch his business career, developing and managing retail developments around the globe as chairman and founder of MacArthur Retail Development. And it is certainly a testament to he and Deb, who's here tonight, that they're still involved in the Drum Corps movement today as members of the Blue Devils Board of Advisors, and that Phil has offered his expertise in helping launch Drum Corps in the United Arab Emirates, where he lives part-time and where his business is located. Leading up to tonight, I saw a picture online. It's too bad Christine Strasburger here, because I think it was isn't here, because I think it was one of the few that she shared. It was Phil leading us onto the field, and he commented that he was always proud to lead the Ventures into competition. In fact, we were the proud ones to have him as our leader, our mentor, and our biggest fan. I wish he was here that I could thank him in person, but Deb, if you could please send our thanks. Okay, I'm good now. Not quite done. Wanted to take a few moments and share with you guys a poem. It was started by a former venture, Mary Cote, which we just realized tonight. It was really written last year after one of our group get-togethers. Although it somewhat focuses on our little group of friends, I think it will be relatable to most everyone, and it just so happens to cover the years in which Phil was our leader, so I thought it'd be fun to share tonight. Hopefully you'll find it as humorous as we did. Before I start, though, there's a few things you need to know to make for this to all make sense. Lori Shinos always thought, and still does, based on last night, that she was a drum major. Just is what it is. And Sue Hall routinely, and don't ask me why, we didn't understand it, but it was really funny, used to entertain us by having babies. It was a pillow, but it did what it did. And we like to sing dirty songs. Not going to do it tonight, did it last night, not there. Anyway, the poem is called "'Twas the Night Before Finals." 'Twas the night before finals, and all through the gym, not a venture was stirring, except McKinnon. It was a hard rhyme. It was just the way it worked out. Our uniforms were stacked all nice and neat. Our white hose had been scrubbed, even the feet. Shinos was dreaming that she led the corps, while Fisher lay buzzing the entire show score. Then all of a sudden there rose such a clatter. Baranski sprang up and screamed, "What the heck is the matter?" We didn't know if the timing was right, but Sue was having a baby and tonight was the night. No one could sleep, our nerves were on fire. Instead, we laughed and sang songs not fit for a choir. We'd be hit with the flip-flop if we soon didn't snooze, and for sure be to blame if we were to lose. Sue delivered a pillow weighing a hefty 5 pounds. Then we sang a last song before shutting down. We dreamt all night of what it would be like to win. Would it be close, or would we be a shoo-in? We woke to the sound of the drum major's cries. Shinos was holding her down as she had crazy eyes. Phil said, "Take it easy and stay out of the heat." And so we gorged ourselves on 2-color meat. The instructors were all decked out for the show. McKinnon was dressed to the nines, head to toe. Carl for the beach. Gilles Commando. And of course, Phillips with his sticks and mustachio. Again, a hard rhyme, okay? I'm just saying. We boarded the buses and headed downtown. It was impossible to chill and try to calm down. We sang about Gracie and hair down there. We were bus number 3, we didn't care. It took 5 hours to tune up the brass, and then we fell into line to go kick some ass. We took to the field with power and might. We were the Ventures, and this was our night. A brand new day had the crowd on their feet, and all the corps knew who they had to beat. We kicked butt and took 2 divisions with power, elegance, and near perfect precision. We returned to our school ready to party. The champagne was cold and the pizza was hearty. After the last speech had been heard and the last song had been sung, Sue went back into labor. Man, it was good to be young. I wish Phil could have been here tonight with us. Deb, I hope that you will, I trust that you will give him our thanks. And Really? Really? I could do it again, but I'm not. It's okay. We'll do it later. Please give him our thanks. And lastly, thank you to the reunion committee for bringing us all together. Thank you.